Hi folks, it's Andy and welcome to this week's Kendo Rant. I've got plenty of questions for us today, some really great ones as well. But before I get stuck into those, if you do like this video series, this is a series, if you don't know by now, where I basically take your questions from either comments below the video, so leave one now if you'd like me to answer it next time, or from the Kendo Show Early Access group. There's a link for it in the description down below, and answer them here on the channel. We've got loads of other content on this channel as well, whether it's instructional content like the Kendo Zero to Shodan series, or some of our other instructional videos, stuff about kata, stuff where we do translations or analysis of Kendo videos and stuff like that. All of this stuff, it all comes to you absolutely free of charge. And if it brings you any value whatsoever, then please support the channel by shopping at KendoStar.com. KendoStar. That's my website, of course. I run that company. It supplies fantastic, wonderful, amazing Kendo equipment worldwide, and we really are the best around. And if you don't believe me, just check out our independent Trustpilot review rating. It's the best you can get, to be honest. So yeah, we're the best by far. So go and shop there. Right, let's get into these questions. What's the perfect water bottle for drinking in men? Anything really with a straw. You can get specific sports straw bottles that have a long straw, or you can take a straw with you. But to be honest, the best thing is to take a break during the practice, take your men off, calm down a little bit, drink the water before you get back in. Most well-structured practices have time to do this. Make sure you drink plenty of water before practice, plenty of water after practice, okay? And during the break in the practice, which I'm sure there will be, sit down, calm down a little bit, and drink the water slowly, okay? I think that's better than when you're all sort of het up in the middle of practice, then trying to suck through a straw. I never do that. I always drink whilst we're having a short break. Next one, if I bought a men that is one size too small, 69 instead of 70, will it eventually stretch out a little bit to fit better? It's just a tiny bit small for my head, just barely. Does the men have any give when it comes to stretching out due to use? So yes, it does very much so. If it is only a little bit, if you can get your head in, even with a little bit of force, yeah, so that your forehead and chin both touch the ten and chi of the uchiwa, the inside part, the padding at the top and at the bottom. You can get your head in, even if it takes a bit of force, even if it feels really tight and uncomfortable, it will stretch with use, okay? That uchiwa will stretch out to fit, and it will fit you very, very nicely. But it might take you a few weeks to get to that, all right? But it will stretch out with use, so don't worry too much. Next one. Hi Andy, I live in the middle of nowhere and a couple of friends and I have taken up Kendo. We've been practicing for the last 4 or so months using your Zero to Shodan series to do our very best to do everything properly. Our issue is that the closest Kendo club is 2.5 hours away, and when I talked to them about us trying to work out a way to do Kendo there, they said they're not willing to teach any of us because of the drive and that they don't think we'll have the commitment to show up. While I understand their viewpoint and respect their choice, it leaves us kind of high and dry. My question was simply, how should we go about progressing? I recently purchased a Borg set from you, which I love, and we're currently practicing 2 to 4 days a week. But we're a little unsure of exactly what we should be working towards. Thanks, and I love the show. Brilliant. Okay, so I picked up this comment in the early access group yesterday, and I've left a comment in it myself saying, please make sure you watch the show today because I've got a specific answer for this. I did see you put a little bit more information as well about the club that you'd reached out to. And essentially, that club really requires its students to make more than one practice a week in order to be able to progress, all right? And that's understandable, okay? So I kind of get that, especially if they've got limited space perhaps, or, they want to make sure that they're giving the best attention to their students. And if you're not able to go every week, I understand how that might be, they might be reluctant to take you on board with that. So don't worry about that, okay? Now, what should you do? Well, try and find somewhere as close as you can, first off, even if it's a little bit further, even if it's like a 3 or 4 hour drive, all right? That will, at some point, let you practice there at least just maybe once every month or two, all right? Just to kind of get a little bit of a pointer. If you can do that, that's great. If not, not the end of the world, right? Here's where I'm going to go a little bit kind of away from what people are probably expecting I'll say. But here's what I want you to do, okay? 1, watch the Zero to Shodan series and follow it exactly, okay? Do exactly what I say in the video. Don't do any other things. Don't mess it up. Don't change it, yeah? Do exactly what I'm doing in the video, all right? Don't add any other stuff. Don't worry about Jigeko, all right? Jigeko is when you're doing the free sparring. Don't worry about that right now, okay? Next bit is don't hit each other too hard. Concentrate on accuracy, not power. Keep your left foot straight, okay? Don't let your left foot turn out. Keep your left foot straight. The next part of Zero to Shodan will be about the exercise Kirikaishi, okay? Kirikaishi. I've already got a video about Kirikaishi, but the next one will be exactly about Kirikaishi from the beginning, like on the Zero to Shodan path, all right? The aim, the goal that you have to set yourself is to be able to do Kirikaishi with Fumikomi stamping footwork and make strikes with Kikentai no Ichi, okay? Unifying the sword, body, and spirit all together, all right? If you can do that, you get Shodan, all right? Now, those new videos will be coming out very soon, okay, about Kirikaishi. I'll do my best to get them out for you as soon as I can. Follow all of those steps, okay, and be committed to doing it, all right? You need your friends on board for this, all right, because at least you need at least another one person, preferably another 2 people. Don't skip the early parts of the videos, all right? Concentrate on the stability. Make sure you're doing the etiquette bits correct as well, all right? Swing the sword straight and slow down, all right? Don't have to rush. Now, here's the next bit. Do that for a year, okay? For 1 year. If you can get to another dojo every so often just to get someone to check up on you, that's great. If not, don't worry about it, all right? If you do that for a year, 365 days, okay? My email address is on the screen right now. It's here, okay? mail@kendostar.com, all right? I'm easy to find anyway. You can reach out to me on Facebook if you have to, all right? From 365 days from today, all right? From today, if you're still doing that, you're committed to it, you haven't quit, and you've been following it exactly as I've said, yeah? You hit me up in a year's time, right? And I will come and teach you personally, all right? I'm serious, I'll come and teach you personally, all right? So you do that, all right? That's my commitment to you if you give me that commitment too, all right? And we'll get you into Kendo and we'll get you on the right track, all right? I'm sure of it. Okay, next one. In your opinion, with more access to higher level teaching and advice through online media, such as the Kendo Show, do you think that that will have an effect on the pass-fail rate of Kodansha testing in the future? Kodansha testing is a high-grade testing, so 6th, 7th, and 8th dan. Will we one day see a higher rate of success for something like the Hachidan Shinsa due to the availability of this information worldwide? I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. It'd be really good if the information that we're putting out either on the Kendo Show or there's loads of other resources out there as well, Kenshi247.net, Kendo World. These are great resources, yeah? Yeah, it'd be great if they do translate through to high-grade testing. However, that's up to you guys. Yeah, you have to take what's been put out there, you have to put it into practice, and you have to transform that into your own improvement so that you can get through those high-grade tests. I'm sure, though, that it will have a sort of effect in the long run. At least I really hope it does. Next one. How do I balance these 2 statements? Kendo is about self-learning and always do what your sensei says. That's really good. Really good. I like it. Okay, so yeah, it does seem a little bit contradictory, but actually it's not so much. All right? Do what your sensei says and learn it by yourself. Okay? What that means is follow the teachings of your sensei and take it upon yourself to do that. Okay? So you have to be responsible for the following of that teaching. All right? As you progress, and especially the do what your sensei says, it really applies to like up to 4th, 5th dan level. Once you get past that, you're really on your own. Yeah. But, you know, senseis, then they only give you tiny, tiny bits. But yeah, follow what your sensei says. Follow what your sensei says as much as you can. Practice in your own time. Try your best on your own merit to follow the teachings of your sensei, and the parts that you have to kind of understand and interpret yourself will become clear as you go down the path, if that makes sense. Okay, so it sounds like a contradiction, but it's actually not. All right. Right, next one. In the previous video, you mentioned that in the West, we can get far too hung up on the specific Japanese terminology. Is there any difference between the terms hasse, kakegoe, and kiai? Or are they interchangeable? Perhaps you might be kind enough to illustrate any difference with demonstrations. Thanks. Okay, so yeah, I had talked about this before, about how sometimes we have a tendency to take words that we hear a lot in Kendo that are actually just Japanese language. Things like I don't know, like nukido. Generally, most people think of that as the ojuwaza men nukido, but there's people that say nukido for just a normal door because you still go past. Okay. Hasse and kakegoe. Hasse means to kind of expel your voice, and kakegoe kind of means a similar thing, like to apply your voice. So they're kind of interchangeable, really. Kiai is different, actually. However, at least outside of Japan, we tend to use the word kiai to refer to hasse or kakegoe, all right? So the act of shouting, but that's not actually what kiai means. And it comes because having more kiai, so to have kiai means to have more spirit. And I think probably like a Japanese sensei, probably if they don't speak perfect English, would, you know, say have more kiai when they want you to shout louder with a louder voice and show more spirit. But it doesn't specifically mean shouting. It means to kind of ki is spirit and I is together. So that kiai is like kiai hatte, or they say in Japanese, means like show more spirit, or kiai dashite and stuff like that. It's like they don't often say it though. Usually in Japanese, the teachers shout koe dashite. Koe dashite means like shout louder. So I don't hear the term kiai that much in Japanese Kendo. But yeah, I don't think it's a problem though to interchange it with the terms hasse and kakegoe. Sometimes I have to use the word kiai to describe shouting in the UK, for example. Otherwise, people don't understand what I'm talking about. So yeah. Right, next one. When I hold a shinai, I feel most comfortable when I put my right hand not too far apart from the left hand. What I mean to say is I don't put my right hand all the way to the tsuba, but I put it an inch too lower. Is that okay? And is there a shinai with smaller tsukagashira? Okay, right. Let me get a shinai. Oof. Okay, here we are. So, right, when you're holding the shinai, right, the tsukagashira, by the way, is here, but I think what you were talking about is the tsukagawa, all right? So it is possible to get a shinai with a shorter grip, but they're generally more expensive because the shinai has to be carved specifically for it, okay? Otherwise, it throws the balance right off. However, right, what you're talking about is when you hold the shinai like this, first off, right, first mistake lots of people make when they hold the shinai is they hold it like that and they put the right hand right up to the tsuba, all right? Because people get told, put your hand by the tsuba, and they put it right like that, and that's not the correct way to grip the shinai anyway, right? It wants to be, your hand wants to be in sort of this position here, and there should be a small gap here, because if you wear a kote, it's not going to be able to fit otherwise, all right? So it's okay even to hold something like this, all right? It's best not to hold it like this, all right? It's best not to hold it like this. Now, here's something else that I'm going to say that's probably controversial. Shorter gripped shinai, right? Shorter gripped shinai, I think, are more popular than they should be. And I think that the length of the tsuka is often used as a crutch to hide an incorrect grip, all right? So people that tend to find that they want to hold the shinai like this, I think they've got too much tension probably in their arms and shoulders, and that's why they're kind of wanting to hold it this way. And I'm not on camera, but for me, like, you shouldn't need a shorter grip on the shinai unless the shinai you've got has got an extremely long one, all right? Which is possible, all right? But for most part, it's best not to have like a big gap here. It's best not to do that, all right? If you find this is what happens, what you can do is you can take the Shinai apart, take the Tsukagawa off, turn the Tsukagawa inside out. Then this is hard work. This isn't easy. It's easy to say. It's tough to do. And you can cut 1 inch off it, all right? Cut 1 inch off it from the sewn up end, yeah? It's inside out. And then you're going to have to sew it up, all right? And you're going to need to use some kind of thick thread to sew it up. And then you turn it back out and you've got a shorter Tsukagawa. I don't think that's necessary for the majority of people, all right? Unless you're extreme, like very short. But if you're sort of regular height, I don't think a short Tsukagawa is generally necessary for most people. And I think lots of people get into the habit of using it because they've got too strong a right arm like this. So they feel more comfortable to shorten the grip, to relax their arms. When they'd be better off relaxing their arm in the correct position. Shinai feels heavier with a shorter grip, by the way. Yeah, because you're taking the point of balance close, kind of. Trust me, it does. I don't know the science behind it, but it does. Yeah, it feels heavier. Yeah, if you hold it like this than if you are holding it this way. So I don't recommend it unless it's definitely something that you're sure you definitely need. Okay, next one. Hi Andy, what is expected of one during grading? There's been discussion for a while around here whether it's okay to do small cuts only and what wazas are acceptable. Could you please share your viewpoint on this? Thanks. So what's expected in grading, up to 3rd dan, it's to make strikes that have Kentai no Ichi and meet the criteria of Yuko Datotsu, that is valid strikes. All right, so you need to be able to hit with the stamp and a shout all at roughly the same time. Okay, a good enough quality to be considered valid. Here's my opinion, all right? Here's my opinion. This is the opinion of just me, but based off the gradings I've seen in Japan as well, you don't need to do big strikes in gradings. Big strikes aren't for you do when you do kirikaishi. If you do have to do kirikaishi or ichikomi, you should do the large strikes generally. But the large strikes aren't for jigeiko. They're not for fighting. Yeah, they're basics for improving your technique. Yeah, you're not supposed to use them in the shiai or in the jigeiko or in the grading exam. Yeah, that's not what they're for. So even at like IQ level, if you're able to do the small techniques, if you're not able to do the small techniques, it's fine to do the large techniques. But if you're able to do the small techniques, you should use the small techniques. You don't have to do the large ones. There's no way you're going to hit. They're going to see it coming. And it's not necessary. Okay. And what wasa are acceptable? The ones that you can do to meet the criteria of Yuko Datotsu. Okay. If you're not able to do them to a level of Yuko Datotsu, then don't use those wasa. So like, if you're really good at like, I don't know, men kaishido and you're pretty confident in it, it's fine to use it in the grading. Absolutely fine. But if you're not and you do it and it looks a total mess, it doesn't bode well for you. You're not going to fail on a single waza. But if you like keep repeating a waza that you're obviously rubbish at, then it's probably not going to kind of help. Okay, next one. How do I explain kiai to non-kendoka? What is it? Why is it necessary? Why do it? So why do we shout in kendo? How do you explain that to non-kendoka? I think the easiest way and how I usually explain it to beginners is kendo is about making strikes that perfectly unify the sword, body, and spirit. And we make strikes with the sword. We launch ourselves forward with the body, and we express our spirit through our voice. And that's why we shout. I think that's the easiest and most simple to understand way. People are going to find it weird if they don't know what it is. But, you know, most people react like that if they've never seen kendo before. Yeah. Okay, the last one. Hi, Andy. Do you plan to make more videos about shikakewaza? You published fantastic ones about debanam and hikiwaza. Any chance you would make something about other techniques like harai or maki? It would be great. Thank you. Yes, I will definitely make more instructional videos about different types of waza, whether it's shikaku waza, different types of oju waza, I'd love to explore tsubazeriai more. I've got loads of stuff I'd really like to do. I'm getting the Zero to Shodan project out of the way first. Obviously, we're actually still in the sort of lockdown situation here in the UK, so I'm not able to get out and film anymore at the moment anyway. But I absolutely will be continuing to add that sort of thing. If you've got specific requests, leave them in a comment down below, and I'll be sure to consider them when we're deciding what to film next. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to do the whole like, share, subscribe thing. I've not said that in ages. I'm trying not to say that. I hate saying that. You know what to do, right? You know, look, right? That's the least you can do. The best thing you can do, though, is go and shop at KendoStar.com if you want to support us. Yeah, you won't regret it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time. All the best. Bye-bye.